Hello, welcome, welcome to this 14th episode.
We are indeed on the 14th episode. Hello. Welcome everyone. Hi.
Hello.
Um so today's episode we're going to talk about some stuff that we've both done recently.
Yeah, like
Um
an
yeah,
update episode,
and
stuff
kind of
that's been
and kind of
happening.
talk about some recent goings on. I think is the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Ash, am I correct in
That is indeed the plan.
that is indeed the plan. Good. Yes, yes. So I think the main things we're going to talk about are I went down to San Francisco for Pride, and I can talk about that a little bit.
Mm,
That'll be super fun, I think, to talk about
yeah.
in more detail. I haven't really told a lot of stories from that, so I feel like
Yeah,
that'll be
I'm
fun.
hyped to hear what you're
Um,
up to.
and of course, Ash had a what she has described to me as an eventful visit to the GIC. Is it the
Yeah,
GIC? Yeah.
yeah. I went to my clinic on Wednesday last week. Um, and it was good. It was a good time. And I
All
also
right.
saw
Well,
my
don't
GP on
don't
Friday as
don't
well.
spoiler it, Ash. You gotta fill us in with all the details. You can't just
Yeah,
tell us it was good. That's no good.
yeah.
That's no good at all. So, do you want to start? Do you want to start, or should I start, or what? Or
Um,
how do you want to proceed?
I I can start. I can. Yeah, I will start.
All right. Yeah. Tell us about your trip.
Yeah. So on Wednesday, I had my I think it's my fourth or fifth appointment at
Okay.
the Charing Cross Gender Identity Clinic. This is my first time since it got recently changed provider. So the weird way that the NHS services work is you have like really small regional providers that handle all the funding and everything. Um, and so the clinic hasn't moved, but it's changed to a different regional provider. So all the signs are different. Um, and they finally, after however many years, set up text message reminders for appointments, which is a godsend.
Yeah, that's helpful. Fuck.
I had to call up like 2 months ago and be like, "Can I just check what day my appointment is on, please? Just need to make sure it's correct in my calendar."
I know that feeling certainly. Yeah.
Um, Annoyingly, my appointment was at 10:30, which means I couldn't get there by leaving after 9 o'clock, so I had to pay for the expensive ticket to London instead of the cheap ticket to London, which is bullshit. Why are trains different prices based on what time you leave? I don't know.
Traffic.
Mm-hmm.
It's based on traffic. If they can charge you more, they
Yeah,
will do so.
exactly. But you think if more people are using the trains, they could charge people less.
That's not how
And
businesses work. That's not how
capitalism.
it's not how capitalism functions.
Um, and yeah, so I got there for my appointment, and they sort of checked me in. Um, and I got to see my usual therapist again, my usual like counselor, which is great, as opposed to last time when I saw the nasty lady who didn't like me.
Oh, the random one, yeah.
Um, and and yeah, so we sort of we did the usual check in of like, oh, how's it going? How's like life in general? And I was like, oh yeah, like I passed my PhD, I've started a new job, all of this stuff is really good. I forgot to ask to change my title at the GIC to doctor. I should have done that, but I forgot. Um, and he like confirmed how all my hormones and everything are going, which has all been good. Um, I think my estrogen is really high, but apparently everyone else is like, no, it's fine. I'm at
I
like,
always I always I always trust the professionals on that
yeah,
one. Yeah.
um,
People who are like, yeah, no, it's good. Those are the people that I'm like, all right, cool.
yeah,
Good.
yeah. Um, And yeah, so the big thing that we talked about was moving forward and getting referrals sorted for surgery. So I was like, I finally sort of, I'm comfortable enough in my my life in general. Like last time I went to my appointment, everything was kind of crappy, and I'd had a really bad year. But the last 6 months have been really, really good, and I've been like, I'm really positive now, and I want to like move forward in the process.
Yeah.
And so my poor sweet counselor, who is kind of awkward, like he's I don't know how old he is, but he seems like too young to be doing what he's doing.
Sure.
And is very like he looks down a lot, and he's like, yeah. So I guess we need to talk about the sort of specifics of how the surgery. So he's a little bit awkward about it.
Okay.
And so he's going through sort of the different types of surgery that the NHS offer. So they do orchiectomies,
Sure.
like labiaplasties and vaginoplasties. And I'm like, the last one, please.
That one.
And he asked me, like, he's very timid. He asked me like, so what do you think would be the biggest benefit post surgery? And I was just like, having a vagina, I think, would be the biggest benefit.
That's a pretty good benefit. Yeah, that's not bad. My response would have been my pants would fit better, probably.
It's a good one.
It's a response I would have given.
It's
certainly,
a good one,
I think.
And he laughed at that, and that sort of broke the tension a little bit.
Yeah, totally.
And so he went through sort of all the different like complications, and sort of talking about like having to like not dilute. Dilute is not the word.
It's dilate.
Dilate.
Yeah, you're talking about the maintenance post surgery.
Yes, yeah, the maintenance and stuff, and the sort of the different complications that can happen that I won't go into. If people want to talk about them on Discord later, I will divulge all the gruesome, horrible...
There's plenty of shit that you get warned about.
Yeah,
put it that way.
Yeah. And yeah, so unfortunately, I thought I was going to be in a place to be able to be like, okay,
let's do it,
and then surgery referral.
Yeah.
Apparently, I need one more like second opinion from a different counselor, which I could have gotten from the nasty lady that I don't like.
Darn.
But we didn't talk about surgery when I was there.
Shit.
So now I need to have one more appointment with a different counselor, which will be in roughly 6 months. Like the GIC has now changed its booking system, so they used to give you an appointment the day that you had your appointment. So you have your counseling session, and then you go to the reception, and they give you your next appointment.
Yeah, okay.
Which would be in like 6 months' time. But now what they're doing, because too many people were complaining that, like rightfully, that they'd be given an appointment, and then 3 months down the line their appointment would be moved.
Yeah.
Due to cancellations and doctors being sick and having to reschedule other things. That they're now just going to say, we're booking appointments for January, but you won't know what your appointment is until November. Until it's time. So we will tell you. Will get an email and a text 8 weeks before your appointment of when it is.
Cool.
Which seems on the face of it more annoying, because it means I can't like plan, but it's also nice that I don't have to worry about it getting cancelled, or I move and they send a letter to the wrong house.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have one more
But that,
appointment.
I mean, but it sounds like that was a like a constructive, good
Yeah, yeah,
appointment.
no, it was
Like
really good.
that's some forward movement, which is nice.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, totally.
Yeah, so
So
what
you got one. You said you got one more.
one more with a new counselor, which will be in
Mm-hmm.
6 months, and then from what I remember of some of my friends who are already post surgery, um, generally it's like 3 to 6 months after you get the second
Yeah,
opinion
I
that
mean that
you.
sounds about right.
Mhm. Um, and it's I think I don't know if I get a choice of surgeon. That's something I forgot to ask.
Mm,
Because the NHS has 4 surgeons that they have on staff. So two of them are just NHS surgeons, and two of them are
yeah,
private surgeons, and they work at different hospitals. Um, yeah, 4 for the entire country. Um,
yeah. I mean, we have one,
yeah, um,
which just one.
mm-hmm.
Uh, so
Which is
you know,
kind of crazy. Um,
yeah.
yeah, so
Here in Canada.
I will probably have to work out what closer to the time which hospital is going to be the easiest to get for me to get to is probably going to be the deciding factor, because all the surgeons use the same technique and they're all trained in the same way, though one of them's a
So it
woman,
doesn't. But
so
so it doesn't. Yeah. Okay. But like so that effectively, like they're all equal.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
All things being equal.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're all attempting to produce the same thing essentially.
Yeah. I mean,
um
they should be
mhm,
right. Like that's the point.
yeah.
I I'll just talk about your appointments and like forward movement makes me want to figure out what the fuck is happening with mine because my like therapist retired and I don't know what the fuck is going on with my shit now. So
That's not good.
yeah, I should probably,
Yeah,
like call some people, but
yeah, you
also
should
that
probably do
wouldn't
that.
but that would also mean I'd have to call people and it's just like, oh no, I don't want to do that. This happened a while ago too. I've just been like sitting on it going like stuff will happen, right?
Yeah,
Somebody
no,
will
you
call
should
me.
get on that.
They won't though. Yeah. I should definitely do something about that. I'm so far behind in like so many random areas of this whole thing.
Mhm.
Like I haven't got my legal name change done yet. I'm still
Mhm.
all behind on that. And like, there's a ton of stuff I need to do. But hearing you talk about appointments makes me want to like do
Yeah,
shit.
get on it
So
and
I
start
should
changing
probably
things.
because there is stuff I want to do, obviously.
Mhm.
But like, I get it sounds dumb, right? When we're sitting here talking about this on the internet to double digits of people, like
Mhm.
50 something people at the moment, and sometimes way more, thousands last week, Uh, and that I'm totally cool with that and being super open about it. But making a phone call, like I can't do it.
Ah,
It's so
yeah,
hard.
yeah,
Um, I don't know. I get anxiety over stupid shit. Um, so it's one of those things. Um, and it's silly because I can do this, but I just cannot do that.
yeah, yeah. I think
Um,
there's an element of talking to someone who has actual like power to affect change in your life
yeah.
is is
Well,
is the way different.
the other thing is here in the city in Edmonton, the place where I can go to, the only place I can go to because I don't have a car, I don't have a way to get
Hmm.
around, and Alberta is fucking massive and separated. Um, my dude retired. There's nobody else in Edmonton.
Yeah,
Not or if there is, there's like one, and they're booked up for like a million years.
yeah,
So either way, like what can I
yeah.
do, right? Like I mean I'll figure it out obviously,
Hmm.
but yeah, I should probably do something about that
Hmm.
soon.
I believe
Uh
you're pretty tenacious.
yeah, we'll see. Um yeah.
Um, but I guess on the subject of putting things off, I finally spoke to my GP about something that I've been putting off for like 7 years. on
Oh, really?
Friday.
Oh, really?
I finally went in and sat down and asked to be referred to the ADHD clinic.
Oh.
And I took in like a little. I think I still have the. I won't try and find the screenshot, but I took a little questionnaire that was designed by people with ADHD, of being like, if you have like 6 of these 12 symptoms, you probably have like some degree of ADHD.
Okay.
And my GP was really nice, and he was like, "Oh, you've done so much work. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for coming and talking to me. Don't worry, I'll refer you to the clinics and all of that." And it was really great. Because I got shut down last time I tried to talk to my GP about that.
Oh, no.
Like, it was 6 or 7 years ago, and it was like the middle of my exam period, and I was having a really bad time, like, being able to focus on all my revision and studying. And I went to my GP and I was like, "I'm having a serious problem. Can you
Totally.
help me?
Yeah.
I think I might have ADHD." And he was like, "You're doing a physics degree. You can't, like, you have all these A levels. You can't possibly have ADHD because you're so successful in your life."
That's not how it works.
But yeah, that is another part of the NHS system which has a 9-month waiting list, but at least
at least you're on the list. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that's good. I think this kind of stuff is important, and it's easy for me to recommend that people be tenacious and do these things and like get their shit sorted out and like care about that stuff. I'm the worst person. I'm like, do as I say, not as I do, because I sit here and just let things, keep going until it's desperate, and then I do the thing because I'm terrible. But my advice is better than my practice. Let's put it that way. Get this shit done. Like, if you need appointments, call for those appointments. Do those appointments. If you need things moving forward, do those things. The only reason I haven't is because like I'm relatively okay. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not in a situation where I feel like a desperate need for change. Nor does my legal name matter to anyone I'm working with. You know what I mean? Like I'm in a position where like that doesn't change how people treat me at work or how people react to me when they are reading my hiring documents and so forth. Like, yeah, it's all like, I don't care. Like, it doesn't change much for me. It may in the near future, who knows, right? But like at that point, maybe I'll be desperate to do things, and I should probably do them now instead, right? Where it's not a desperate situation.
Yeah, I feel like that's the same with me and getting my gender recognition certificate done.
Yeah, because like, it doesn't actually matter that much to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's I need to get it done because I need to get it done before me and Sarah like have a wedding, because we need the marriage certificate to reflect my transition.
Yeah.
But because of money and studying and everything, like, as much as me and Sarah want to get married tomorrow, it's not necessarily practical for us to be able to do that. So I've been like, it's fine. I don't need to do that yet. It is another thing that I finally, like, when I was at my appointment on Wednesday, I was like, can I have a letter to send to the shadowy gender council? And I asked my GP for his letter, so I need to sort those out. I need to pay for both of them because they're not.
Yeah.
It's not like official admin work, so
sure.
I need to pay the clinic and my GP's office like £25 each to write me a letter. And then I'm gonna need to pay a solicitor like £50 to witness me signing a form, and then £75 to send all the forms to the shadowy council.
Yeah.
So
there's a little bit of payment involved, sure.
The main thing stopping me from doing this is just today, and the government has been sitting on this for ages. They finally launched their like initiative to revamp the Gender Recognition Act.
Okay.
So the chances are, in a year's time, the Gender Council will be scrapped. and I won't have to get all the letters from my doctors to get it all done.
Yeah, I've also heard stuff about like Canada's current system, or like some places in Canada at least, helping with like people who have foreign documents. Like for me, my name change stuff is hard because I'm an Australian citizen,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not a Canadian citizen. But I have a Canadian permanent residency, so I live in Canada. Everything's Canadian, basically. Um, and so like, there's this whole thing that's happening in the moment where like that's going to be easier in the future. I don't know exactly the details, but I do know that like there's some stuff that's going on right now that's like to help people who are foreigners in Canada do that stuff.
Yeah, and it's the kind of thing where you're like, but if I don't do it now, it'll be easier in the future.
It'll be easier later. Yeah, everything will be easier later.
Which probably isn't actually true, but
no, it's not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, it sounds like things are going pretty well, and like things are moving at an eventful pace. Actually,
yes.
I'm happy to hear all of those things. Certainly.
Okay, enough about me. Tell me about San Francisco.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, I went down to San Francisco to visit the Twitch offices and march with them in the San Francisco Pride Parade, when that was a thing, like a week or two ago. I think 2 weeks. I'm not sure, but a week or two ago, whatever. It was a weekend ago. Yeah, so I did that. They invited me down. They paid my way there and my way back and my hotel and all that stuff. And it was me, Chip Whitehouse, who's there, and also Kiwi Fails. So some other streamers that you may know. Then we were sort of invited down to represent the various content creators and march in the Pride Parade with Twitch. We also did a little Twitch Weekly spot, and we talked on a panel on the Twitch Office channel, which is like their interior stuff, talked to a bunch of Twitch employees about like inclusivity and shit. We got asked a bunch of questions and answered said questions.
And saw a very good clip of you.
It's pretty much I would say that it's the best. I would say it's the best thing that came out of that, certainly.
Yeah.
Some of the questions were a little bit like, I don't know what you want me to say to this. Like, oh, what part of gaming has queer culture not influenced? I don't know, most of it. Like what do you want me to say? That kind of stuff. But so on Thursday because I got down on Thursday and I came back on Monday.
Yeah.
So we had like a bunch of days down there. And on Thursday, me, Kiwi, and Chip met up and had our little friendship. Like we didn't really know each other, so it was nice to sort of like get some food on Thursday evening and like do some stuff together. And then Friday was our busy as fuck day with like Twitch Weekly, the panel, and then there was like the Twitch party after. There's like the Twitch happy hour that we went to. That was at the office right after our panel.
Yeah.
But yeah, drinks and stuff. It was pretty good. But the thing that struck me was like, I don't know, it was cool to be invited down, It was cool to be invited and like to do that stuff. And it's cool that they're like thinking about that and like planning for stuff. But I feel like their questions were a little, I don't know, like
written by cis people.
Well, no, not even. It's just like it seemed like a little out of touch, right? Like, oh, you want me to talk about like gaming culture and like queer culture and gaming and stuff? Like, oh, I'm down to do that. But also like there are like 3 examples of good queer characters that I can think of, and then everything else is just garbage, right? So when you ask me, then I'm gonna tell you that, right? And I think they were expecting a little bit more of like a positive vibe, and I just didn't like provide that, right? And I don't know. I didn't really know what to say, right? And there were a couple of questions that were good, like how do you deal with like harassment, and like what advice would you give like new streamers, who want to like do this stuff, who are like that kind of stuff, which is always fun to talk about, but also super generic, right?
Yeah.
Where I'm like, what advice would you give new streamers? Fucking stream.
You
You
just
know, like that's
stream every day, all day.
that's you know, like that's
how you
it,
do it.
right? That's kind of it, right?
Yeah.
I also we got definitely like, and I mean I know how this of course like worked out, you know, because that makes sense. But we definitely had the LG, the L, the G, the B, and the T in this 3-person group. You know what I mean? Like it was very like selected that way, which is fine by me. But you know, it's like we were there to represent, so we did the best we could, right?
Yeah.
It was a little bit like, how can you help us improve our brand? But you expect that from a company, right?
Yeah.
A little bit like, I want to help you improve your brand because I'm part of your brand, and I like want to be part of your community, and I want you to do better, and I want you to like be better about this stuff, right? So I want to help you, obviously. And the clip that you're talking about came out of that panel that was on the Twitch office channel.
Yeah.
Because we opened up the questions to people who were watching, so like the Twitch staff, and one of the Twitch staff was like, how do you feel about Kappa Pride? Basically, like, how do you feel about the emote Kappa Pride? Is it good, bad, whatever, right? And I basically said, like, it is the worst emote you have ever implemented. It has never been used for anything good, ever. You made the sarcasm emote the pride emote, and the only one for like fucking years.
Yeah, it's really bad.
It was like a horrible choice, and you need to get rid of it. You have better ones now. You've made these Unity emotes. They're great. They're fantastic. Get rid of Kappa Pride. It is an emote used for hate. You know, like it's so dumb. Like I don't understand how they went, oh yeah, the most popular emote on the site, Kappa. Of course, we'll make that the pride emote. But like
that was obviously their thought process, right?
But like it's an emote that is used exclusively for like shitty statements and sarcasm, you know, like it's the shitty emote.
Yeah, and I remember when it came out thinking, oh hey, there's a pride emote, and for maybe a week it was like everyone was like, oh, there's a pride emote, isn't this great? And then people started working out, oh yeah, no, but now we can use this of being like, oh, isn't this gay, Kappa Pride? And it just ruined everything.
Yeah. I mean, they had on the signs that we carried with us while we were marching and like some stuff like that. There were Kappa Prides on them, but there were also like signs that had like the Hey Guys emote. You guys know the Hey Guys emote, like this shit. I'll type it in chat so you fucking this shit right here.
Yeah,
hey guys, they had that in the Pride, like the Technicolor that is on the Kappa emote. And I'm like, why didn't you just do that?
Yeah.
That would have been, at least it doesn't look sarcastic and shitty, you know? I don't know. Or like the Bleed Purple heart with like rainbows in it instead of purple. And this is stuff like they had on these little signs, but like, nope, Kappa Pride is the emote we've been using for the last year. But so I think that was the biggest thing to come out of that in terms of like how I felt about the questions and how I hoped that I influenced the way that people responded to those questions. I know that there are people out there who'd be like, well, I'm gay and I love Kappa Pride. I'd be like, then you don't understand what it's being used for.
Yeah.
That's
up
it.
On this little thing called privilege.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, well, it's fine. Like, whatever. If you disagree, I think you're wrong, but also I respect that you disagree, I guess, but I'll fight you. So that was a thing. Before that panel, we were on Twitch Weekly, or at the end of Twitch Weekly anyway. There's like a little extra segment with like me, Chip, and Kiwi on it with DJ Wheat. That studio is a lot smaller than it looks on
I can imagine. Yeah.
On camera, it looks like it's like a stage.
Yeah.
In person, it's like a little room. The chairs are all really close together, and it's like very claustrophobic. And it was funny because I was talking to the other two, and the other two were like, "Oh man, I'm like really nervous. This is like the first time I've done this stuff. Like I'm like really nervous, you know." And I go like, "Yeah, no. I mean, it's a stream. We're gonna do a stream. You know, we're gonna talk on stream over there." And I'm trying to be like chill, you know, and be confidence inspiring because I feel like I was the one who's done the most like sort of panels and like sort of public stuff with Twitch and like that kind of
Yeah.
thing before. But I was like ready to puke before Twitch Weekly. I was standing there going like, don't vomit. Like in my head, I'm like, look nice, answer the questions, don't puke. Like it's the thing I was the most prevalent thought in my mind. So that that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
The party was fun. Like talking to people after the panels and
Mm-hmm.
stuff after the panel was really fun. Answering a couple of more questions sort of on my own and like chatting with people about like Twitch's culture and stuff. Like one of the people who's like one of the chat people, like the chat developers or what have you, like came up and talked to me about like, yeah, I mean, I know that there's this whole like we expect chat to be a little toxic, you know what I mean, especially in like bigger streams, but I don't want that to be the case, so like give me some advice, like tell me some stuff about how your shit has worked out for you, and I'm like, here you go, talk about that stuff. The Twitch offices are insane, by the way. They got like free food everywhere. They've got like we literally just like had free drinks, like like alcoholic shit from the bar, like for this party, and I was like, okay, cool. So
everything I've heard out of the Twitch offices, like I've looked at applying for jobs at Twitch before and then being like, I don't want to move to America.
Yeah.
But like I go on to like job review sites, and everyone's always like, the Twitch offices are crazy. There's like free food and drink everywhere.
I mean,
everyone's always having sex. I don't know what's going on.
It's successful tech company in San Francisco. Like it's that whole thing. Like they all do that same shit. But it was really cool. It was cool to be invited there and like hang out and stuff. So we did that party and it was fairly uneventful. Like in terms of I just socialized with people who wanted to socialize or people who knew who I was. And all that stuff. And we like left the party room basically to like go in and like talk quietly in another room with like a bunch of people, and because there's like loud music and stuff, and of course we're all like nerds, so we're like, fuck that. And then we went to like one of the little computer labs and just played Overwatch on like 6 computers all next to each other, which is pretty cool. I haven't played Overwatch in a while, but people were like, you want to play some games? I'm like, yeah, okay, play some games. So that was cool. What else did I do? Saturday, I went over to Monkey on Strike's house. Monkey on Strike's one of the like the community people in for Twitch. He was like focused on the creative community a lot, or was like focused on the creative community a lot. But like Chip and him are friends, so we all kind of got tied into this whole thing and like went to go do a little stream at Moss's house. And that was pretty fun, but we didn't really get to much streaming because we were all so tired and we just like kind of passed out. There's gonna be a bigger stream, but there never was, sort of thing. And Saturday was like our free day where we just did whatever, so we kind of like did that, and then we went to eat at like a Brazilian steakhouse. That was delicious. Like where they just bring meat along to your table and like carve it right there, and then you just have meat and more meat and more meat, and it's just a meat tornado that never ends.
Oh right, this was your portal into the meat dimension.
Yeah. So that was pretty good. It was very delicious. What I will say is that everything in San Francisco is horrifically expensive. And I'm glad that I can maybe submit some receipts and get some money back.
Yeah, it's pretty much, it's one of those places where most of the people who live, at least in like in the city, are all high paid tech people, so they can afford to spend that kind of money on those things. But
and then Sunday was parade day. Yay! So the Pride Parade was on the Sunday, and we were gonna march with Twitch. So we went like at 10 in the morning to the Twitch offices to get like stuff to wear, and we all wore the shirts and the, what have you, and like little wristbands, the rainbow on them and stuff like that. Bullshit. And like marshaled together, and then we went to like where our staging area was to like stand around and wait for us to like get to the parade. Um, it was my first Pride event
Yeah.
ever, and the first thing that I like said, I said to like our community or like the person who'd organized it all, Brittany Brown,
Brittany's great, by the
was
way.
there on Sunday, but she wasn't there the rest of the time, you know, like because she was at VidCon because it was the same week. So Brittany was there and we like talked, you know, obviously like, hey, we're doing good, everything's fine. She's like, you guys all entertained yourself and it was so easy to like have you here and invite you and stuff. It's like you were all the first people I invited, and I'm like, oh yay, you know, like nobody said no. And I was talking to her about it. I'm like, the best thing we could do here is like IRL stream the parade, right? And she's like, yeah, we were gonna like hook you guys up with like IRL gear to like do that.
Yeah, like a
but nudity.
That's true.
Pride event, naked people.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
I was like, that's fair.
Yeah.
Sucks because I would have loved to have streamed it, but fair.
Were there many naked people?
I saw 0 naked people personally. Well, I saw 1, but I also didn't look. You know, old wrinkly man. No, thank you. Not my thing. But yeah, so that was a thing. And we were like, okay, well that's cool. So I'm going to, you know, we'll go and march in the parade. And so we did that. It was like 4 miles ish.
Yeah, that sounds
and the energy was super great. It was so exciting to be like in that group. And just like, you know, cheering with everybody and whatever. It was fun. It was good. I can't really, there's nothing to really explain about it other than that like the energy was high and there's like more people than I'd ever seen in one place ever. And yeah, all that shit, you know. So that's it. Once we were done our sort of march route, we split off and like immediately went back to the Twitch offices because some people went to like the parties and stuff or like the, you know, the like really loud thumping crazy shit. And we were like, throngs of people and loud music, no thank you. I would rather go back to the Twitch offices, have a little snack, and then go to bed. So it was like 3 p.m. It was like 3 p.m. and we headed back to our hotels. Or our hotel, me and Kiwi and Chip. We were like, let's meet back up at 6, get some food, and then like do something in the evening. And like we napped for 3 hours or something like that. We came back down and we went to like a sushi place. And our last night at the Twitch offices in San Francisco was that we just went and watched The Incredibles 2. That was we just went to the movies.
Nice.
Best movie theater I've ever been to. Holy shit, the chairs were like these cushy fucking armchairs that could like fully recline and shit. I was like, whoa, what is this craziness? It wasn't like a special ticket or anything. It was just like regular movie theater shit, apparently. Which is crazy. I didn't you know, I didn't see that coming. So we had some sushi, we watched The Incredibles 2. And then the next morning I got on a plane back home. I ended up missing my connection because San Francisco airport is a fucking nightmare. But I knew I was gonna miss it. So in San Francisco I got like a different flight, you know what I mean, to because my plane was delayed enough that I'd miss my connection it would have been Minneapolis. Like I was gonna fly to Minnesota and then to Edmonton, which is a weird route because it's literally like
that's a bit weird. Yeah.
Right. But so like instead of that, I ended up going to Seattle, which is the way I came. But then I had to sit in the Seattle airport for like 6 hours until my Edmonton flight. So
not Seattle, but in an airport for 6 hours.
Yeah, I mean it's not bad, right? Like I don't mind. I didn't have to sleep there. You know what I mean? Like, if it had been like, and tomorrow is when the next flight is, I would have been like, fuck my life. you know.
Yeah.
But 6 hours in an airport's not bad. I like a long connection. Not 6 hours long, but you know, generally. One of the things about the booked flights was that like the connections were like 50 minutes. You know what I mean? Like you landed, you had less than an hour to get to your next one. You know, like I was always like, if anything delays for even like a second, we're fucked. You know, like which is what happened on the way back. So, it was good. It was a great trip.
Yeah, no, that sounds like
I super appreciate that they invited me to go do that. I super appreciate that like they hooked me up with that stuff. Oh, I forgot to tell you one of the best parts. Well, one of the most heart-pounding moments. So customs going into the US.
Okay.
So this was like I was in Edmonton and we were going through US customs to go into Seattle and then to San Francisco, right? And I was like, cool, this is a business trip, you know, like, and I got the business visa or whatever. And then I went to the desk and they're like, cool, so you're going to the US for business? What do you do? Like, okay, how do I explain what I'm doing and what I usually do? So I'm a video producer for Twitch. They're based in San Francisco and they have invited me down to consult on like some stuff, you know? And they're like, well, what stuff? And I'm like queer stuff.
Oh, so you make porn? Okay.
I mean, it was just like a lot of like, and by the end of it, there was like, I swear to God, it's the longest I have ever talked to a customs agent because she was like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know? And I go like, it's like I make YouTube content, but it's live and mostly about video games. I am going down to the parent company to like talk to them about, you know what I mean? Like all this kind of shit. And eventually she was just like, fuck, it's borderline. I don't even know what you do. Take this, go. If you better fucking come back. And I'm like, I will. I don't want to be there for bye. You know, and like, whoo, Jesus. You know, like, what do you say when you talk to your customs agent? Like, what do you do? I fucking make videos. And yeah, there are a ton of things I could have said that would have made it easy, but I was like sweating, you know? I'm like, how do I explain? I wasn't expecting this conversation. I don't know why I wasn't expecting it, but I wasn't. Oh, the other funny one was leaving the San Francisco airport. I went through one of those body scanners because they don't even have the metal detectors; they just have like the body scanners. So I went through one of those body scanners, and everything was cool. And then I started walking away, and the woman's like, "No, you have to stop. Like, there's an anomaly." And I'm like, and I turn around and I'm like, "I'm trans," and she's like, right, well, I still have to check, you know, like exactly knowing exactly what the body scanner had picked up, that I was smuggling something in the front of my pants. Obviously, right? As it does every fucking time I do this. And she's like, right, well, I still have to check, so I'm gonna do, you know, a pat down. Are you okay with that? I'm like, yeah. And then she's like, I'm gonna explain exactly what I'm gonna do in this pat down, you know, and like goes through all the things. And I'm like, just fucking do it, you know, like I don't want to stand here and listen. She's like, I have to explain it all. I'm like, fine. Jesus. So she stands there, does all that shit, talks about it, and then she's like, you want me to do it or like someone else? And I'm like, just you go, you know, just like,
do it. Oh my god.
Spread my arms, just pat down, like checks my waistband, like fucking up my thighs, you know, like all that business. And then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna leave now. Bye. You know, get all my shit. Like I knew exactly what was gonna happen. I predicted that was gonna, like, oh, it's a body scanner, I'm gonna get frisked. You know, like it happens every time. So you know, that's fine. And you're right, Leia. It's good that they like explain it and stuff and like talk it all through. But I was just like done with it, right? Like I was just like, I'm not hiding anything, so it doesn't matter how you pat me down. You're not gonna find any. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's fine. I'm comfortable with you touching me, and it's fine. Like it's all good. All that kind of shit. Like, it was just like more of my time wasted.
Yeah, it's one of those tricky things that whether or not like the agent who's setting like the machine genders you correctly or not.
I mean, that's the thing, right? But either way, but either way, it'll set it off because either way, you're in some way like shaped a little differently than you should be,
Yeah.
you know, and all that stuff. And yeah, it's kind of good in a way that that happened because they hit the female button, obviously. Yeah, that makes me feel good in my heart, you know. But the pat down doesn't, so the balance is out, right? It's like equivalent exchange.
50-50.
But yeah, so it was a great trip, all in all.
Yeah, no, that
Super
sounds
fun.
excellent.
What I would say is I've never had problems at an airport, like problems about my identity. I show them my passport, they go, okay, and then I go, you know what I mean? And my passport I look like a Russian arms dealer in my passport. I look like very severe, very stern male version of me, you know? Like, so it's fine, you know? I haven't had any problems, but I always get pat downs. I always get checked. I always get blah, 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 all that other shit, you know. Anyway, it was cool. It was a great trip.
Yeah, no, that sounds great.
Do we want to do chat stuff now, Ash?
Yeah, we can do chat stuff.
Or is there like something else to address?
I mean, I was gonna say you were at that Pride. I'm at London Pride this weekend.
Ooh, fancy.
And I tell you what, someone's gonna die. Not even joking. It is gonna be 32 degrees in London.
Oh man!
And like 80% humidity at least on Saturday when the parade is happening. I think we'll be lucky if someone doesn't die of heat stroke.
I mean, I certainly hope not.
I've been like spamming Twitter and being like, please, if you're going to Pride, take like 1 million bottles of water. I might just fill my backpack with like a crate of water
and just like hand them out.
Because it's gonna be crazy. But yeah, we finally got all the details of where we're marching in the parade and what time we have to be in places. Like, we have to get there for the staging area, like you said, and be there for an hour before we can start marching. Because London Pride is huge.
Yeah. I can imagine so.
Yeah. But I'm really looking forward to that. I have all my body glitter. I have all my hair chalk.
You know, it's so funny with that stuff because like people are really into it, you know what I mean? And like the whole Pride expression and like the whole like, you know, rainbow colors and stuff. And like, you know, even I got like some stuff done for Pride. But like I am like the opposite. I am like not that person. I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Like every time like I don't know. I'm like that person who I feel like sometimes I rain on everybody else's good time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
in that I'm just like, why though?
I like to play it up for Pride in particular.
I mean, that's fair.
I am 100% up for July being LGBT sloth month because I am so tired from June. But yeah, I have all my stuff ready for Pride, and the thing about, like you said, like people, there's nudity at Pride and stuff like that. Like we had so I'm going to Brighton as well in August, and we're doing like outreach stuff, and we've basically been told you will find 2 groups of people at Pride. You will find people who are there with their friends to have a good time and hang out and see the acts and see the stalls and all of that. And those are the people that you can like really approach and pull in and do some science busking and get them talking about like LGBT stuff in science. 3 groups. Then you'll have like gay scientists who will be like, oh my god, that's science in the gay place. I love it. And then the final group are the hardest to ever reach out for, and that is gay men who are looking for people to have sex with. And that is the dominant group at Pride.
Fair enough.
And so we're trying to come up with a bunch of like strategies for like getting the gay guys to come in and talk about science and outreach and stuff. mostly involving including sex in the demonstrations that we're doing. So if it's
Yeah.
look at this condom, look at this strange stuff I can do with this condom because of science.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
I mean, that's gonna be great, and we're doing some stuff. We're doing some busking in the parade as well on Saturday. So that's gonna be good. Yeah. Does chat actually have
Yeah,
questions other than
does
how are
chat
we
does
so
chat
cute?
actually have anything they want to address today? We're more than happy to take your statements or questions based on what we've said today, or something else if you really want for the next 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
I would love to have something else to discuss, or if you want more details on anything we've talked about today, that would be lovely. So hit us up. You know, now is the moment. Now is your chance.
Leah, that's a statement, not a question.
It's not a question, but we are the best. You're right, Leah.
And unless it's you guys are the best.
You guys are the best. Thank you. We appreciate the compliment, certainly. We strive to be the best, certainly. It's a long way off. Do you have any idea what you'll do with the stream while you're recovering from surgery? From Daphne.
Just IRL streams.
My answer is probably hope that stream understands that it will be a process and that I will be ready when I'm ready once that's the case. But that also, I don't think it will take like ass loads of time.
Yeah, like officially it's like 3 months recovery. Is what that's
yeah,
what
but you're talking about the amount of recovery to be like perfectly normal, right? Like perfectly fine.
Not perfectly fine, but like able to go back to work.
But work often involves more than my work does.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like sitting streaming is a thing I could do for an hour or two at a time when I feel like I'm okay to do it. You know what I mean?
So what I remember when Laura K. Buzz had her surgery, the biggest issue she had with getting back to like video game stuff is just being able to sit for hours at a time, because you just have to get up because like you get sore. And that's like the biggest struggle I think for getting back into streaming. But I'll just fucking stream from bed.
I mean, me too. Like, I'd happily try and set something up that would allow me to work as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But also, like, my community is like fucking great and supportive and cool, and so I'm not super worried about. I mean, yeah, there'd be a lot of drop off, and like generally, it probably wouldn't be a good couple of months or whatever for me. But that, like, you'd know what was going on. My Twitter would still be active as fuck.
Yeah.
you know, like, it's fine. Is my thought on that. But
I need to go back to Laura's article of what are the best games to play one-handed while you're dilating.
But it's also like, I don't know. For me, it's a long way off, probably. Just because I'm being apathetic about making appointments and so forth. What else did we get? How goes relationships, Grubsor? Pretty well. How about you, Ash?
Yeah, it's been really good. So Sarah's been down in London for the past couple months. She took like a mental health break from her PhD, which sucks that she had to do it, but it's actually been really good for our relationship because we've been within like easy travel distance from each other for 6 months. So things are actually, we're in a much better place because she's in a better place like with her mental health, and we're in a better place because we're in close proximity more often. So it's been really great.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Me and Siobhan, we've been working on like, she's working now, so you know, she doesn't have as much time to be like here and around and stuff. So our sort of thing is like, now we've got to figure out when each of us can go across town, and like when each of us wants to take the bus to like do that, and like who can stay over one night or another night, like that kind of stuff is what's going on. Like I was a little bit late for a stream this morning because I was busing across town back from Siobhan's place, and it took me a little longer than I thought it would. So I'm just trying to adjust for schedules in the future, and so forth. But yeah, things are going really well. I'm head over heels. What else? What else we got? Yeah, I do have family in Montreal and Claire, so for me it'll be a little easier, certainly.
Yeah, that was one of the big questions that my counselor had, was who's going to take care of you while you're recovering. I'm like, like Sarah, maybe if we're living together, like, or my parents, if not.
I mean, my roommate would, like, hippie kicker would also just be like, I got you. You know what I mean? Like, he's that kind of guy. So, like, even if I came back to Edmonton, it really wouldn't matter.
Radio green tea, you should absolutely shave your head. Just do it. It's actually...
I can't do it.
Okay. Actual recommendation, if you're gonna shave your head, especially in summer, to, like, get the heat off, make sure you wear sun cream. Like, it's really important. You gotta sun cream up your shaved sides, because otherwise you'll get sunburnt head, and then the hair will try and grow through that, and it'll be really horrible.
How do I feel about trans representation in media such as cinema, TV, video games, etc.? Get your trans people to be played by trans people. That would be a great step in representation.
Have you seen the Scarlett Johansson news for today?
No.
Scarlett Johansson is going to be playing a trans masculine person in a movie about a like a massage parlor.
Okay.
Like the person she's playing is a real person, was a trans man, went through their entire life being like, no, I want you to refer me to as Mr. and I'm a man, like, stop calling me a woman. And even in, like, his obituaries, newspapers were like, this person always wanted to be a man. This is how they were a woman. And now, apparently, Scarlett Johansson is playing them in a movie.
Sounds great.
Hollywood!
Obviously. I mean, that's entirely a thing that I, like, I don't know. It doesn't surprise me. No, you know what I mean?
Disappointed, but not surprised.
That would be my only statement about that.
Yeah.
If you would like to improve trans representation, maybe have your trans people played by trans people.
Yeah.
There are plenty. Let me tell you, there are plenty of trans actors out there looking for work. Yeah. So
just hire Jamie Clayton in everything, please.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much that.
Has sleep changed at all with transitioning? Do you sleep differently?
Do I? I don't remember if I sleep differently because I've been doing this for a while now.
Yeah.
Right? You know what
I mean? Yeah, I mean, I sleep better now, but I don't know if that's just because I've gotten older and I have a better handle of my sleeping pattern than I was when I was younger.
I don't think it's changed anything for me so much.
I have more intense dreams now, especially if I take my estrogen late in the day.
Yeah.
If I take my estrogen late in the day, I tend to have like really intense, like vivid, insane, like proper fucking surrealist art dreams, which is a bit crazy.
Yep. So that's it.
Yeah. I think we're good. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Thank you everybody for joining us for today's Trans Agenda. We just talked about stuff that happened in our lives, which is trans related, to be sure, most of the time. And Corvid has a question. I'm going to address Corvid's question before I stop because I like Corvid. What does it say? Guess more of a streamer question, but I'm seeing lots of new small streamers around who are trans. Beyond following, watching, subscribing, being active in chat, cheerleading on Twitter, how best can I help them in the early stages of their streaming life cycle? It sounds like you're doing everything you can in Corvid. If you like up and coming, and you should like them, like support them if you like them, obviously. Not just because they're trans or whatever. Like, that's part of streaming, is that you won't succeed if you're not a good streamer as well. You know what I mean? But what I would say is that, like, if they're early on in their career and they're serious about it, quote unquote, doing all that stuff that you're doing is great. Like, supporting people and like being in chats and like saying a thing or two, even if you're just there for a couple minutes and then you ditch out, and like do something else. Or like, yeah, if they tweet something out, maybe like replying to it or like liking it or like that kind of stuff. It's great, yeah, that's the stuff that you want to do, definitely. I'm so glad to hear that there are lots of people out there. I don't get a lot of chance to like troll around in like sort of other streams, though I definitely should, because I think that would be good. Support is the way to go. Like, people that you like, be around for them. It's the same as with any stream, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that their beginning life cycle is necessarily different to any streamers. One person early on in your streaming career can really make a solid difference, right?
I think maybe the biggest difference for like queer streamers is having someone there who, like, I'm not saying go out and moderate for every single queer streamer you find, but having someone there who's at least able to like call people out when they're being like shitty. Because you're right, like, one person in an early stream can make all the difference, but if that one person is like an asshat, it can be really soul destroying. So that's something to look out for, I think, and something like where people can maybe help out.
Yeah. I mean, Moz is is a moderator for like every queer streamer that I know, or a trans streamer at least.
Yeah.
So that's,
Moz is a god, though.
That's true. Yeah, I think that's probably it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, everybody, for watching and for hanging out. That's been great. I like answering questions and I like talking about my life. And Ash, why don't you do your outro first, because I'm talking.
Hi everyone, thank you for watching. If you want to see more of me, you can find me at twitch.tv/AshleyNova, which is right here if you're watching on my channel. Or you can go to my Patreon and check out stuff. There's now, if you subscribe at the $2 level of my Patreon, you get 5 chapters of my book, which I'm slowly writing. And you can also see all the cool photos I've been taking with my digital camera, which has been really fun. And then I have a thing coming up in August. It's a Burning Wheel campaign. It's happening. I'm gonna start releasing the like cast soon, because it's all in place and it's gonna happen. And then we also have the Monster Hearts game at the end of this month, so you should check that out. Elf.
Indeed, I am also in that Monster Hearts game, so it'll be fun. It'll be fun to do. You can find me, of course, on twitch.tv/DistractedElf or on Twitter @DistractedElf. Those are the only places that you need to go to find my stuff. There's a bunch of dogs barking outside. Anyway, yeah, no, you can go there. Cool. Yep, that's it.
That's it. Okay, we're gonna go. Bye, everyone.
Bye, friends.